All right. So before we started working together, was there a specific moment, like a tax bill or a conversation with someone, where you knew something had to change with how you were managing the financial side of your practice?
Yes,
Yeah,
most
a
of our
lot of things.
moments were like that prior to you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were very much
What was
left
the
up to our
moment?
imaginations.
I think if I think back, it was really a slow buildup of panic and not knowing what to do with anything. So we grew much faster than we were expecting to, and the financial part of it was really foreign to us. And the moment we found you, I think that's when we realized how stressed we really were before you. It provided clarity and direction that we very desperately needed.
We had a lot of
Gotcha.
unanswered questions before you,
Hmm.
and all
Yes.
of the questions that we had have been answered immediately, which did not happen with our last person.
I
True
got
story.
it. So walk me back to what your books actually looked like before we started. Like if I peeked behind the curtain, what would I've seen?
What books? No,
Like
I'm kidding.
lot of spreadsheets and loose receipts and group text messages. That was basically
Good.
where all of our information was prior to you.
Trying to understand how to organize. We weren't.
Hmm.
We're still babies. We still are.
Right, and that's totally normal, totally normal. Before finding me, had you tried to get this handled? Did you work with anyone else, use a software, or just try to do it yourself?
All
All
of
of
the
the above.
above, yeah. We originally thought that we could kind of handle it on our own with some input from an accountant. We quickly learned that that was not the case. We are experts in feelings, not
Mhm.
finances. So having someone with that expertise and clarity became very important very quickly.
Yeah, that makes sense. When you found out about Tranquility Bookkeeping, what made you reach out to us directly? Was there something specific I said, a service, or something in the background that felt different? That felt different?
Originally, you came very highly recommended from one of the groups on social media, and seeing everybody else's response to you and how quickly you reached out to us really made the difference because we very desperately needed that communication and guidance. And you, right off the bat, excuse me, showed up with that.
Yeah.
You showed up ready to lead. Whereas I feel like our last accountant was kind of waiting on us to give them direction about what to do, and you were the exact opposite of that. So that was
I think I
immediately.
remember. I remember that first email that I got. It was like on a Saturday. Yeah, and I was in the office,
Poor
so
thing.
Please help us. We're scared. Yeah.
yeah. No, it was. I remember it, and I was in the office, and why not? I mean, you were there, so normally I tend to like wait till the weekday. But if you're messaging me on the weekend and I'm here on the weekend, then obviously, I try to make sure I respond pretty quickly, especially when
I
someone
remember
needs like help immediately. And it sounded like it.
Hmm.
our
Yeah.
like our first meeting when we were first just getting to know you and like seeing whether or not like we wanted to work together. Like all of us, I could just see all of our tension just, oh, we could breathe. What? Just felt a lot of relief, and so like that was our sign that we knew we were in the right place.
Yeah.
Good. So tell me, what is the single most significant thing that changed in your practice since we started working together?
Funny.
Yeah.
Ownership distributions. That's nice.
Yep.
Yes.
Being comfortable, I think, where we are financially,
Okay.
just being able to trust you and knowing that you have your eye on things and that we can move toward our goals without worry
Okay.
because we have someone in our corner.
That's great. Um, so we probably already talked about this, but like, how do you think the financial side of your practice is now compared to before? So like when tax season comes around, let's talk about this past tax season. Like, how was it compared to the last tax season?
Cleaner.
Yeah.
It made more sense.
Yeah.
the video that you provide with us, like it helps us so much. We're able to like all sit and discuss it afterwards and
Mm-hmm.
answer any unanswered questions that we might have, and then be able to go directly to you. Not that like you leave us with any unanswered questions, because you really don't. It's just so clear, and so it's very
Good. I know sometimes explaining like S corp stuff or partnership stuff gets really complicated, and I'm like, as I'm doing it, I'm like, am I making this way too confusing? But there's certain things that you don't usually hear about that's important, like the bases and like where you stand. So I'm just glad that it made sense for you.
I think that's another one of your strengths, actually, is that you are aware of where we're coming from as far as finances and our understanding. And it really is a different world and it's a different language that we don't speak. And you do a really great job translating that both in our business taxes. And I know personally as well, when you took over our personal taxes this year, I had the same experience of you are able to explain things to me in a way that helps me feel like I'm in control.
Hmm.
Even though I actually have no idea what you're talking about 90% of the time, I walk away feeling like I do. And I think that's
Good.
an incredible quality.
Well, thank you for that. And that is my goal, is just to make sure that you understand everything's transparent. Like even when if I outsource my taxes to someone, sometimes I just get a call and like, hey, pay this number, and I know how to look, at things, but it's not the same thing as actually looking at it at the same time, because I've had moments where I caught something after the fact, so I would just amend it myself, but being able to see it first before signing it, or so you can ask questions, is definitely, I think it would have been helpful for me too if I had that in the past. Yeah. So was there anything we uncovered or changed that you weren't expecting when you came in? Like, was there anything that surprised you at all?
benefits of S corps.
Yeah.
We were told that we were supposed to do an S corp. Didn't really get a good explanation as to why. And when you came in, you told us exactly the things that we needed to know about why we did this. So we were just kind of blind before, and now we feel like we, at least I'm speaking for everyone, we
Mm-hmm.
feel like we know it makes sense now.
Got
Don't
it.
know everything, but we at least understand it because you explained it.
Right. And I think that's the thing that I hear a lot. So someone will say, be an S corp, or you see it all over social media, be an S corp, but no one really knows what it means to be an S corp. You just hear taxes, you save on taxes, and they're like so many different types of taxes. Which one do you save on? Which one is it beneficial for? And then they don't tell you all the things that you have to do to actually be an S corp, because you're really kind of like a corporation. So the IRS expects you to act a certain way, and people forget about that part, and that's where they kind of get in trouble. Or because they're not acting that way, they do miss deductions. So when we came up with the accountable plan and you're getting reimbursed for home office, it's not the same as when you have an LLC, but you want to make sure it's set up correctly so that we're not missing those things. So I do hear that a lot, and I'm glad that you're learning a little bit more, and we probably have more to go um, as we go. So. So what is it actually like to work with me? The process, the communication, what stands out for you?
I think the thing that stood out the most for me was how supportive you were of us individually, like as people. I think I expected the accountant to kind of come in and look at numbers and just look at the business and support the business, but time and time again, I think you highlight the importance of our success personally, like as people, and that has been huge. I think that's helped our trust in you immensely. It's also helped us look at our own personal growth within the organization a little bit differently.
Okay, sounds good. I like to do that too. I have few partnerships, but even inside of a business, everyone has their separate goals and what they want to come out of it. So all of that's important when you're talking about a strategy or planning, what makes sense for each individual person and how it actually ties into the rules of a partnership or an S corp, because that makes a difference too. Sometimes you'll have partners and they'll act as if they're own separate LLCs, and really you want to make sure you have your personal goals, but you want to make sure you have the right entity. And with the S corp, it does help a little bit to do that. So, is there one specific moment in our working together, whether it's a call, a finding that you remember most clearly so far?
Well, like I said, that very first
Yeah,
one,
for me, it was after the first meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
the, like relief that we felt, like quite literally, like as soon as we got off of the call, we were like, "Oh my God, like, that was so nice."
We've compared other meetings with new vendors to that one frequently. Like, did you have the Cherie feeling? Did you feel like we did
Oh,
when we met Cherie? And that's
Yeah,
kind of the bar of partnership at this point for us.
yeah,
oh, that's great. Hopefully you do. Hopefully you continue to have that feeling.
It's a very high bar.
If
yeah.
people, if people want your service, I hope they're giving it to you. So, I have one last question. Now, I want you to answer this as if you're talking to another practice owner or a therapist who's sitting where you are before we met. So they're behind on their books, or they probably don't have books. They're probably overpaying in taxes, and they're not sure if working with someone like me is worth it. What would you tell them?
It's so worth it. Do it.
Yeah, I would say that working with Cherie is the best thing we've done. We were coming into this with a lot of shame and a lot of confusion and needing direction, and you provided all of that immediately. And it was within the first hour of meeting with you that we started to feel relief and support.
Less shame.
Yeah.
And we've had that consistently throughout our relationship with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never like dwindled even a little bit. Like the moment like we have a question or concern, you're like, let's have a meeting, let's go, let's do this. So if someone out there is considering it, they should do it.
Great.